Hello, hello. Is anybody on? We've had some technical difficulties. Let's see if I can. Okay, so we had some technical difficulties. That's the story of my life today. Hope everyone's doing well. So we are going to be doing some foiling and some coloring because coloring's my jam. And we're going to be using the My Best Friend stamp set, which has a Labrador, Chihuahua, and a Yorkie. The Yorkie's oversized on purpose because he's always large and in charge because that's what my little Yorkie looks like. I don't know if there were some updates to YouTube Studio or what is going on, but I have to be very honest with you. I can't see any comments. I can't see anything. So I hope somebody's able to say hey if they're here. If not, I sound ridiculous talking to myself the second time. Hi, Shalana. Yay, you're here. I say that because this is like my third time coming on. So anyway, we're using My Best Friend and some foiling. I'm going to start off with the coloring just because that's what I'm most comfortable doing. We're going to do this Chihuahua and the Labrador today. And I think we're going to start with this Chihuahua. So this Chihuahua is based on one of my friend's dogs. And his name is Yoda. So we're going to come in. I'm going to use the E47, the E40 family. And I am using my Copic marker stand here. We have those in the shop in teal, pink, purple, black, and white. So right now I am just putting in the shadow, so where the ears are kind of overlapping the head. I'm using this E47. And I'm going to do it around the face. Yay, thank you, Shalana, for confirming. I feel like sometimes a monkey should know how to go live on YouTube. And I can't get it right for whatever reason. I don't know. Lots of anxiety when I first start, but that's okay. So one of these days I'm going to feel comfortable and won't be making any problems. So I did cut these out with our die cuts. We're out of the bundle right now, but I will tell you that if you have a scan and cut, these images cut out really well. The only thing that you'll miss out on is the actual, oh Lord, the sentiment dies. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting the shadows in. And I'm putting the shadow on the left-hand side. And I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of a swipe into the eyebrows. My dogs don't have eyebrows. They have more like big old whiskery looking things, but whatever. So I just kind of outline that now. This hind leg, I think, would be a little bit more in shadow. So I'm going to put that thicker. And that's all the E47 that we're going to use. Unless I lose some of my shadow, and then I'll come in and do more. Alright, so I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to continue to put those shadows in. And I'm always extending them. So the back of my marker always extends. I forgot his little tail. And I'm going to put a little bit of this E44 over here in this side of the ear, even though that's mainly going to be pink. And I'm going to kind of put some there, and then under the jaw here, I'm going to pronounce that a little bit more. And I'm just going to keep doing this. This is real simple coloring, you guys. We could get into heavy duty coloring, but I don't know that that's necessary because these guys are so small. So we are going to move into the E43. This is very, very simple. We're not getting into like jumping color families or anything like that. You definitely could. At the end, I probably will glaze it with another color. I think it's going to be the E51. So now this E43 is going to be our main color. And what I mean by that is the color that our eye naturally sees. I'm going to fill in that tail all the way. So now I'm going to start really putting this in thick. And I'm going to fill him in over there on that side. And it's time to start forming and shaping his head a little bit more, right? So I do turn my paper as I go because it's way easier to get that tip of the marker where you want it and feather it in than it is to use the back of your marker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? All right. So today I worked in the stock room and I got some new labels on our products and checked some stuff in for next month that are coming in. Repackaged a few things, so that's all in the works. Now this, I think we should probably fill this in just a little bit more. We had like 6 people waiting to get on here earlier, and I lost it with the tech issues. I was hoping to see more people tonight, but hopefully people will be able to catch it on the replay. It's so frustrating when things don't work the way you want it to. Yeah, it might have something to do with me too, because I'm not always, the brightest when it comes to technology, but I'm getting there, guys. Did you know that the internet wasn't even a thing until after I graduated high school? So this old bird has had to learn a lot, same as everybody else in my generation and whatnot, but I'm telling you, it doesn't always come easy. Yeah, so next I'm coming in with that E51, and the reason I'm coming in with that E51 is the E44 family is a little bit more gray, and this is going to really brighten stuff up. See how it almost brings like a peach color to him? So now I'm kind of like glazing over all of it. And we're going to call him done. So this is what my friend's dog named Yoda looks like. Or at least in my recollection it is. And then we're going to use some R11. And we're going to flick that up into the ear. I know we always want to go pink. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Hi Sandy, how are you? We had some tech issues, so you're not far behind. We're using the My Best Friend stamp set, which are 3 dogs, the Chihuahua, the Labrador, and the oversized Yorkie, so he matches my dog. So, and then we're going to do some foiling. Let's see here. I want to use 2 colors for the nose. I'm going to use the C5. So legit, you didn't miss anything yet. So I'm coloring that all in with gray. You could definitely use warm grays if you wanted to. Or you could use a dark brown. And I kind of dot that darkest color in, and I don't overthink it. So that is the Chihuahua. So let's take the brown out so you can see him. And that is the definition we're getting from him. Now we'll come back in with gel pen and stuff here shortly, but let's get the Labrador. I know it's been a while since I've live. For me, I just started doing them recently. Um, it's funny. It's like you get into them and you get into a groove, but then as soon as you start traveling, it's like once you get out of the habit, it's really hard to get back in it. And for me, I'm a scaredy cat anyway, so it takes me a lot of minutes to finally get into the groove of lives again. Hey Kel, how are you? Hey Penny, how are you? So we're gonna get into the Labrador. So once upon a time in my previous life, I had all three. I had a chocolate, a black, and a yellow lab. I don't know what you call that. Vanilla. I always called her Vanilla. In fact, her name was Nilla. Anyway, I'm still putting in that shadow on the left-hand side, so I'm going to do the tail because I forgot to last time. All I had is to pop in and say hi. Thank you, Kelly, for stopping in. I really do appreciate that. And I always seem to forget this shadow. And the reason we went to the right side is because the hind leg is kind of protruding over the belly. So this technically would be our shadow color or our darkest color. But I have a feeling I'm going to come in like with an E79 or probably an E79 to darken up those shadows, but we'll see. Hi, Marianne. Oh, Lord, Marianne was like waiting for like 15 minutes, and then my live wouldn't start, or I think it may have started for like 10 seconds and then it disappeared. So we're going to do a shadow on this side of his face because the ear's kind of over that ear or over the face just a hair. And then we're going to come down here. You guys, it's inevitable. That one loud car in my neighborhood always drives by right as soon as I start live. It's like, it's enough to make you want to scream if I was able to scream, right? All right. Okay. So that's the darkest color for now. Again, I reserve the right to come in with an E79. This is the 3-7. Again, we're not going to do any major. My markers are a mess. Okay. And we're just going to extend those out. This is real simple coloring. I actually had a request to do these dogs because I sometimes think that the fewer lines that you have, sometimes they can be scarier. So I'm really trying to pronounce like where I would put shadows and talk you through that because I've had requests on that. But as far as the blending goes, we are doing like simple Copic blending. We're not reinventing the wheel today. And I'm going to give him a little bit of a round curvature there and on this side. Let's see what else. So today I mentioned that I had been working in the stock room and stuff. We are going to be at a show in South Carolina next weekend, a week from Friday. And it's an SSAT Scrap Art Tour show. And we will be there Friday night with the customers pay to come to like a preview night where they get to do like a make and take. So we don't necessarily sell that night, but we do a free make it. Well, I shouldn't say it's free. The customer pays for it and we supply all the goods. It's all cut. There's some stamping and stuff involved in it, some stenciling, that kind of stuff, but it's just a really fun time to really get to meet our customers and to say hey, and it gets our feet wet for the expo season. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we are doing 5 shows with Expo. Our first one is the Orlando show. And I'm pretty stoked about it. A little nervous about it too. I only did one. I've demoed and with other companies before with Expo, but for the most part, we only did the one Expo last year. So, man, it's going to be a learning curve, but I'm excited. So I'm really coming in with this E35, and I'm kind of filling in this dog at this point, because this is kind of the main color. And if I need to work it more, I will. But he starts to come alive. He also gets a little kind of, I don't know if anybody's cringing right now, because it's kind of scary to see him like this. I mean, like when I look up on my TV screen, I'm going, oh my God. It's scary. Did you know that I felt like coloring was the scariest thing ever for a long time? But when I made the investment in my markers, I decided that I was going to learn how to do it. So I've taken a lot of classes. I used to color almost every day. Not so much anymore since I've had the company. But hey. So Sandy Andrews, you said that you've been doing crafting, but not as much card making. So what, I kind of, I follow you, but I don't see everything. So what have you been crafting? In the meantime, I have gotten into sublimation. And in all my spare time, I do every once in a while to practice on cups and practice on cloths and stuff like that. So I'm having a good time. And then I bought myself hi Michelle. I bought myself a really nice Christmas present. I shouldn't say that. Both Sean and I bought a Christmas present together. And you guys are going to be hearing more about that the more I learn how to use it, and can give my full review on it and my thoughts on it. We're still kind of in the setup stage and trying to figure all the things out, but oh boy, it's going to be a game changer for me. Hi Betsy, you guys all found me. It was man, I was having a real hard time with the live, getting it to go live today. I can't even say it's the internet. I think it was just old me having a hard time. So alright, so I do think that he needs to be a little bit darker in places. So again, this comes with, am I a fraidy cat? Maybe. So this is the E59. Yeah, this is the color one. I was thinking I was going to do the E79, but that was going to be so stark in comparison. So, Penny, I bought a cheap Epson printer. It's at the 2850 or 3850 something. You can do a little bit of homework on it. But anyway, I bought it, I think when it was on sale for less than $200. And then I buy the Hippo ink. And that's what I've been using for sublimation. And it's been fun. Now there's definitely a learning curve. I have a a shirt press, and I also have a mug press. And I would recommend, and this is like not knowing what you're doing kind of thing, I would recommend getting like an all-in-one, but something that swings out instead of lifts up. And if you do any type of homework on that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But for me, I wish I just bought one machine. But, we all, when we're starting out, do dumb things. You can't get into the sublimation. Yeah, it's, I bought it purely because I clearly didn't have anything else to do. I say that jokingly. You know what? We are going to use that E59. It's kind of funny, I love card making. It's obviously one of my favorite things to do. But then when you buy a company and you run a company, all of a sudden your hobby is not your hobby anymore. And thankfully, you know, Sean does a lot of the stuff, but I help with this kind of stuff. But then it's no longer a, how do I want to say it? It's not a hobby anymore, you know? So then I wanted to get into sublimation just so that we could do, you know, a few other things. But I am probably one of the most blessed people on earth that I have a husband who says, go play. So that was an R24. And that's a 3.9. I'm sorry, a 3.9. And we're doing simple coloring here. I don't know why I feel like he needs gold. You want it to be a hobby, yeah. You know, guys, I feel incredibly blessed that I get to do this every single day and that Sean gets to do it every single day. And it's a lot of work. And if you don't truly, you know, if it's not what you want to do every single day of your life, you should keep your hobby your hobby. And I do truly believe that. Let's bring in a white gel pen. This happens to be purple. Let's not do that one. Okay, we're going to use a Sharpie because I know where the Sharpie is. So I love these Sharpies. These are the brushed nib Sharpies. And I like them because they've got the same tip as a Copic. So you can go real thick if you do like lettering. Or you can go real light and just get like strokes in there. So I'm just going to give a little dot here. I'm going to give maybe a highlight here. And I always do the highlights where I put the shadow on the dog because it makes that pop. And there we go. So here's that one. Let's go back to the Chihuahua. All right. We're going to give him a little bit of something right there on his nose. We're going to make his eyes a little bit brighter. We're going to give his ear. I don't know why. In reality, I don't think ears in dogs sparkle or have shine, but in my world they do. And I feel like, I don't know. I need to turn on my make so I can warm up while I'm doing these last few highlights. All right, so there's that. I love the dogs too, Betsy. So for everybody who's just hopping on, the Labrador is to be like my dog that I used to have. The giant Yorkie is because my real life Yorkie is forever huge. I mean, gigantic, ginormous. And then the Chihuahua is my friend's dog. So they all have stories behind them. A lot of times I don't always share them. All right, so let me look here. I'm gonna pull out my camera so I can see it here. I didn't realize I left my ceiling fan on. You guys, my friend was asking me like what the best day to come to Kentucky is in February because she wanted to come in February. I'm like, no, you never come to February except for that one day. It's like 70 degrees. Well, today it was like 60 something degrees and it's wonderful. And I had to like tell her about it. And then of course, like we're going to have a polar vortex coming soon. So I just focused my camera a little bit. So these are our flash cards. So these are toner reactive cards. This one happens to have 12 designs, so you get 2 each. And so this one's just so you can foil these with toner, like deco foil. Okay, so any color that you want. So that's different than glimmer. But here you can put any sentiment in there that you wanted. We've got Dog Mom. So how cute would that be? Just a boom, be done. Right? So we've got those two. We've got Dog Dad, because if you have Mom, you gotta have Dad. You can't leave them out. And then beware of, that was my hair, beware of the wiggle butts, which we're gonna use that today. Then we have, I like big bones and I cannot lie. And that's, you know, in portrait. And then we have Meow. And then I got out of whack, we've got Love, which again, how, wouldn't that just make a cute card if that's foiled? Or you can ink blend on these. So the things to know about my flashcards are they're on 100 pound cardstock. And then we've got Meow again. We've got Cat Mom this way. They are on a smooth cardstock, so it can be foiled obviously, but you can also Copic color on them, but they're thick enough that if you wanted to do a real light watercolor, you could. And then you can definitely ink blend on them. So let me see what I want to do here. I like the wiggle butts, and I'm going to do the Meow, not because we're doing the dogs with the Meow, but because I'm going to color a cat later on. Maybe I just told you what I'm going to do on my next live. I'm moving stuff around so we don't have a lot of crashing noises. I mean, that's always possible. So I foil either on 3 or 4. I tend to go on to 4 because I am a little bit impatient. And I use, so I know that Mink has a great big huge carrier sheets, and I carried the small ones in the shop. However, for the live, since this thing is so gargantuan and I can't get it all on camera, I just thought I'd go real easy here. So I'm going to use the red, because you guys know I love red. And we're going to do wiggle butts in red. So you put this foil, so you put the silver side down onto the printed portion, and then you feed in the part that's folded. I'm going to go ahead and cut down this. This is the rainbow cheer foil. This has been beat up. So that's going to go across there once we run this through. This is in real time, so you can see how slow this actually is. Now you could use Gina K, you could use Thermoweb, you could use anybody's as long as it's toner reactive foil. I happen to carry the cheer foil in the shop. Several different colors. I definitely have this red sparkle and the rainbow that we're using, so I always let it cool down. And then look at that reveal. Look how cool that is. Amazing. Like 2-second card, you guys. We're done. So that's what my husband actually calls these, like with the toner foils, is that Valentine Day red. Exactly, Marianne. He calls these the 5-minute, 2-minute cards. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it, kind of thing. Because he's not into the coloring and stuff like that. He does a lot of ink blending and those things. So again, you could use the carrier sheets. I recommend that. But mine happens to be like the 12 by 12. So I'm going to let this cool down. I'm going to turn this off. The funny thing is I bought myself a small Mink. And then my friends, well, she didn't steal it. She paid for it. But she reacquisitioned it. Look at that. Look at the Meow. Isn't that sweet? Absolutely sweet as can be. So from there, I'm not gonna stay on long tonight. In fact, we're almost gonna end this, but came out party and didn't it? Yep. So literally, you could do just that, or you could I feel like we need one more thing. So where did it go? I cut out the heart. So the set's got the heart with the dog print in it, and I feel like it probably needs something else. Wouldn't that be cute as a card? And then we'll just die cut that and do something like that. So that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna call this done because we have not had dinner tonight. Yeah. So do we have any questions or anything? We have a new release. When do we have a new release? It comes out February 14th, and we have a new designer that's making her debut. And she's extremely excited, and I'm extremely excited about it. We have, if you've noticed that a lot of prickly pear stuff has been retired to the vault, maybe never to be seen again. Maybe we'll make a reappearance at some point, but most of that stuff is gone. Oh, Sandy says she's got another show at 8 o'clock. That's amazing. Yep, Michelle cannot wait for a new release. It's so cute, you guys. And yeah, so Beyond the Outlook, I will be live again sometime this week. Hopefully we won't have the same issues that we had before, but yeah, thank you for spending the evening with me. Any sneak peeks on the new release? I'll give you a hint. This is it. That's all you get. Did you watch? Did you catch that? All right. So the other stuff is it's Lean, Mean, and Fighting Machine. There you go. Those are your 2 sneak peeks. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will see you in a couple days.